Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. XRP is about to go crazy, so says Austin Arnold, who is the host of Altcoin Daily, which is one of the most popular cryptocurrency YouTube channels on the planet with over 1 million subscribers. And frankly, it's not hard to understand why. Clearly, Altcoin Daily has a firm understanding that XRP is supremely undervalued. It's the only top 10 cryptocurrency that has not revisited its all-time high from the last market cycle. And that's not some sort of negative. Now, the people that don't like Ripple and don't like XRP, they'll spin it as a negative. They'll say, look at how it's underperforming. But the time is to get into a crypto is before it has pumped. XRP has not pumped. I mean, fine, yes, I understand it's up quite a bit from a year ago. I'm not pretending that's nothing. It's great to see that. But the real opportunity, the best part of this market cycle hasn't happened yet, and it's going to be absolutely explosive. And so anyway, I just want to highlight it here at the outset of the video. I didn't want to tease you and talk about it later. Like, frankly, like to see a huge YouTube channel like that with over 1 million subscribers talk about this, it's rather fantastic. And we're seeing more and more like gigantic crypto YouTube channels go this route, including BitBoy Crypto, Ben Armstrong. He's riding the XRP gravy train now, and more power to him. He's being I don't agree with him on a number of things, the way he analyzes stuff, and that's not like some sort of personal attack against him. I love diversity of thought, so it's fine if he thinks I'm wrong and I disagree on some things. I think that's how thoughtful discourse should be anyway. But he's being intellectually honest, I believe. And it's great to see like this much of a recognition, including from some people that if you would have talked to him, 6, 9, 12 months ago, they would have been singing a completely different tune. But no, XRP is the real freaking deal. It's been around for the better part of a decade, ain't going nowhere. So I've got opinions from an analyst that I want to cover here, including, and this will probably be just about the next thing that I get into, an analyst that says, yes, XRP indeed is on path to be topping $20. And also, and I'll probably get to this next part at the end, but I hope you guys do stick around for this because one of the most popular chart analysts in all of crypto shared on Twitter thoughts in a fairly short thread, but they were kind of profound, having to do with the fundamental analysis and technical analysis of Bitcoin and what to expect. And he ultimately said, look, the bottom of this market cycle is closer than you think, and the top is probably a number higher than you can possibly imagine. And we're so close to this. But I do want to be clear at the outset, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just a simple little Moon Lambo doing Moon Lambo things all up on the YouTubes. So I make videos about crypto-related stuff on this channel, but purely as a hobby, just for fun. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to be some sort of a guru. There's plenty of fake internet gurus and fake crypto gurus out there. Moon Lambo ain't one of them. As I record this, XRP is at 93 cents. Bitcoin is just a hair over $42,000. Market cap at $1.89 trillion. And Bitcoin dominance at 41.8%. And you're probably wondering how the lemmings are feeling. Well, here's the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, and they're feeling very similar to yesterday. Yesterday we're at 28 out of 100, indicating that the market is in fear mode. Today we're one notch lower, 27 out of 100, indicating we're still in fear. Because why the hell not? There's so much opportunity ahead. Can you imagine feeling this at this exact moment in time? Like, what is just around the corner is going to be explosive growth, and there are actually people out there that don't get this to the point where they're feeling fear today. Eesh, I'm glad I'm not one of them. Here's chart analyst Lub Crypto, and this is a very welcome reminder, especially given that the market is in fear right now. XRP. Every now and then, it's helpful to zoom out, focus on the big picture so as to not lose vision of the goal. Consider these two charts. Nothing has changed. And so I want to quickly show you one for those of you that care to look at your screen. We're showing upward price action. And I mean, this is dating back to 2015. And yes, it is true that most of the time, XRP is basically moving sideways. It's in consolidation mode or down, right? That's most of what it is to be in crypto, though, to be honest. But then the upside moves, damn, they're explosive. And so you can see since 2015, we've been trending up. And my friends, this is not going to stop. There's no sign it's going to stop. XRP just continues to increase in adoption, like both in terms of utility and in terms of retail speculators and institutional adoption. All trends are to the upside. Now, yes, once the bubble fully forms, it will pop, and then you'll see action to the downside in terms of retail speculators, maybe even some institutional dumping, but that'll be true of all crypto. But what will continue to move to the upside? Adoption. The developers out there, they're not going to stop building what they're building just because the market's scared. They're going to keep using it. And then when people are done being scared, the market will consolidate and people will come back in and we'll have another market cycle. It's perfectly fine, but it's nice to see this. And so you can see directionally where he's anticipating we go right up here where I'm circling. $20, $20+, and he's publicly stated a number of times in the past that he does anticipate this market cycle, XRP, is going to be hitting $20 to $30, and he'd be very surprised if we don't see at least $10 this market cycle. And here's the second one. This shows that little bowl shape here. So this is a chart going back to 2018, back when the XRP bubble fully formed on January 4th, 2018, and then popped, and you can see what happened. We turned to the downside, and he started sharing this round and bottom bowl before much of this was mapped out, like over a year ago. But he's like, yeah, this is it. It's going to be this bowl formation. What do you know? It's pretty damn well stuck to it. And he's not the only one that's showed this type of chart. DIY Investing has, and Bessa, another very popular chart analyst, has also. I've highlighted all of them showing basically the same damn chart, but their own slight tweaks on it. But I've been sharing that for some time on this channel, and they're coming to these conclusions independently. So like, you just wait here, but it's going to rocket at some point. That's why I just I joke about the lemmings, and when I make digs like that, just to be clear, I am just having a little fun with this. Like, I'm sympathetic to the people that are feeling like this, but what better way to point out it's bad than to just like have a little bit of fun with it? I mean, get out of the scared mode. Recognize it's silly to feel these things. I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold anything. I'm just saying, man, just shake the emotions. It's not going to help you. It's good to recognize that, and then just kind of laugh about how silly it is to be emotional to that degree. And I get it. We're all human. We're all wired in such a way. I understand it, but it can be overcome. I assure you of that. Now here is a tweet from chart analyst DIY Investing, and he wrote, most people don't figure it out until their second market cycle. First cycle, you make a lot of money easily, start believing this time is different, and it will go up forever. Then you buy the top / don't take profits. Second cycle is where you learn from your mistakes. Yeah, and indeed, I do see a lot of people that do say this time is different, and I just don't believe that. And I can tell you for me, so I jumped into crypto, many of you already know this, but I jumped in November of 2017, just mere weeks before we had the blow off top for Bitcoin and XRP and the entire asset class. Crazy time to jump in, a lot of fun, very exciting. And so for me, I was not of the mindset that it was good that the market was going to go up forever. I recognize, and I was even publicly stating it, and I was sharing it with my friends and family. I was like, guys, this is I'm just learning about crypto now. Fine, I get it. I'm new to the party, but like, look at the chart. Like, this is a bubble. This is clearly a bubble. It's not going to last forever. And my crypto, my gosh, how much did it go up? And I didn't put like a crazy amount of money in. It was actually hard to get money in, and I also needed to do more research before I put serious money in anyway. So I put in a certain amount, what to me was not a big amount. But it went up by, I guess, probably, I'd have to go back and look for sure, but probably over 1,000% in a matter of weeks. Like, seriously, it's crazy, right? Think about that. You just jump in and like, oh yeah, everything's up 1,000, of course. You couldn't pick a loser at that point in time. And that's the type of behavior I do expect we'll see again when this blow-off top comes. I don't think it's going to be any different from that point. And I didn't sell any of it, not because I didn't think it was going to pop, but because, to be honest with you, I didn't care. I was like, this is a bubble. I believe that it's going to pop soon. And then we're probably going to be in a bear market, because I already knew, like, that's how things work. But I also thought to myself, this amount of money doesn't matter to me. So I thought, losing the 1,000% gains doesn't really mean anything to me, that this won't change my life one way or another. But I thought, even though I don't believe we're going to perpetually go up without some sort of correction, I was like, if I'm wrong about us entering the bear market, that's something that could be rather meaningful. So I was like, okay, I don't think it's going to keep going up, but it's just that risk versus reward situation where I was like, so I just kind of let it ride. And so I've still got the stuff that I bought back in 2017, and a lot of it's worth like way more now. And some of it still, it'll probably just pump later this market cycle. Unless this time's actually different and everything doesn't go, but it looks like the market's still moving in tandem, so I'd be surprised here. But no, this time, since I do have a much greater percentage of my personal net worth into crypto, I do plan on selling the vast majority of my crypto, if not all of it. Perhaps if I'm enticed enough, I will sell all of it, every single coin, XRP and everything else, and then I'll wait for the bubble to pop. And then once it gets sufficiently low, once we see maybe an 80% correction to the downside, then I'll start buying more. And so as far as how much of a correction we see, though, it really does depend on how much of a movement we see to the upside. If we see like a massive blow off top, you're going to see an equally disturbing correction to the downside. Which is why for the people that say we're never going to have a bear market again here, well, first of all, that concept's just silly. But even if you really believe that, then you better also believe that we're not going to have momentous, like crazy rocket style price action to the upside. Now, if we don't have that, then I'm on board. But I don't believe that that's going to happen. I think people are in a frenzy. They don't know what's going on. I think money's going to pile in. I think markets are so illiquid that it doesn't take much money coming in at all to have prices bid up insanely. Which is why when you look at XRP, I get it. Nobody wanted it when it was just cost a quarter. It was like 25 cents a year ago. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wants it now. It's 93 cents. Nobody wants it. But I'll tell you what, they're going to want it when it's over $10 because that's how human psychology works. It's now been validated. It's run up. This is a safe bet. When really that's like probably the worst time to buy it would be my guess. But that's how humans behave, and I'm counting on that. And so there we are. So anyway, just be aware of this because I know there are a lot of people that are new. This is your first cycle. If you think this time is different, you're entitled to your opinion. I would just say I respectfully disagree. I do not think this time is different. I think all of the humans out there are behaving the same. I think they're just as clueless as they were 4 years ago. Some of them learned, but just on the whole, people are clueless, and it is what it is. So there you go. Then there was this from DIY Investing. We can't be bearish until noobs are pulling out loans to long the top after a massive rally. We ain't there, fam. And that is true. People were doing that last market cycle. At the top of the Bitcoin bubble, people were pulling out loans to long the top. Horrible, uninformed decision. And so fine, I get it. So those people, had they held to this point, they would have done better. I don't know, maybe some of them did. But the type of person that would make a move like that without understanding market cycles, and you have to not understand market cycles if you do that, would that type of person actually hold another several years to see what happens? I don't know, but I just... That's the type of behavior that we're going to see have. I think it's a bad idea. If I had a family or friend tell me that they were about to do that, and I believed we were at the top of the market cycle, I wouldn't tell them to buy or sell or hold, but I would say, make sure you thoroughly think through this, because here's my opinion. We're at the top of the market cycle, and if that's the case, just understand that historically what happens is a massive correction to the downside after this bubble fully inflates and pops. That's what I'd say. But do whatever you want, It's going to happen. You're going to see stories about this. I'll highlight them on the channel. There will be stories about people taking out another loan on the home, all sorts of crazy crap. And it's just a really, really bad idea. People, if you're getting into crypto, you should only invest what you're willing to lose. That's the way that I look at it. That's how I've always behaved. People are people, man. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Ambessa. All this smart money China FUD had so little effect on the price. The last time whales tried to get you wrecked was at $30,000 when they released all the bad news into support. Gurus fell for it. Do you think this? Do you do the same thing? Make the same mistake twice after 2 months, or did you improve yourself? Yeah. So indeed, there are how many people were down there when Bitcoin is at like $29,000 something are saying, "Come on, Moon Lambo, when are you going to admit that we're in a bear market?" Now my answer was, when we're in a bear market. Right now we're in a bull market. That was my answer. I was like, I don't know how low this is going to go for sure, but it's probably close to the bottom. That's already been a massive correction, over 50%. and we haven't had a final blow off top. And so I don't believe that we're just going to go down to 20,000 or 10,000, some of these wacky low numbers that people were counting on. But people were selling, which at a support level, from a technical analysis perspective, that was a support level, and people were selling there. It's completely ridiculous. My gosh. Expecting it to go that much lower, and then they had to buy in higher. Like, a lot of them ended up buying in probably at like $40,000 because they made very piss poor decisions, which is why, for me, I don't try and time the market. I'm not a trader. All I do is just buy and hold for very long periods of time, and then if I'm enticed to sell at some point in the future, great. I take my profit. That's it. That's it, though. And I've never cashed out into United States dollars, and I've never sold a single XRP in my entire life. So I am Mr. Patient. I'm like the opposite of what these people are doing. And then as far as when he said gurus fell for this, I think he's just talking about fake internet gurus. There's no shortage of them. Seriously. I'm not kidding that. Like, sometimes I'll say that at the beginning of my video. There are all sorts of people that want you to think like they're the bee's knees. And they share sentiment on their YouTube channels or blogs or Twitter or whatever it may be. And it's basically whatever the sentiment is for the lemmings. If you go to like the crypto fear and greed chart, whatever direction they're going, whatever way the wind's blowing in that moment, that's what they go along with. They're like, yeah, that's it. Look, it's already down. It's going to keep going. Oh, it's up. It's going to go up forever. Yeah, that crap. That's what they're talking about. Anytime I see that, I'm just like, audible sigh. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Will Clemente. Bitcoin floor has been set. Large bids across all major exchanges. Bitcoin came within $1,300 of my on-chain floor model and is still $148,000 from my top model. Do we trade a few $1,000s lower? I couldn't care less. The asymmetry of being long over the next few months is huge. And so there you go. I had to heart that comment because that rings true to me. Same for XRP. What's the potential downside? What if we drop down to 50 cents? I'm just making that up. I don't see chart analysts calling for that, by the way. The lowest I've seen is 79 to 80 cents, potentially, if we see another market-wide correction. If we do. Which is not a guarantee. We may not. So whether it's 79, 80 cents, whether it's 70 cents or 60 or 50 cents or whatever it is, even if that happens, you understand the potential upside, right? $10, $20, $30. It doesn't freaking matter. It's like the people betting against this market when we're in bull mode before the final blow off top. I just like, to me, that just, it does not compute. Like, my brain explode. Don't make sense. All right, now check out this. You're going to love this. This is a short thread, but I think you're really going to like this. This is about what to expect over the next 12 months. This is from chart analyst Pantoshi, one of the most popular chart analysts in crypto out there, 283,000 followers, and for a reason, I would say. Then he wrote, thoughts on Bitcoin fundamental analysis plus technical analysis. A year ago, Bitcoin was trading at $10,000. A few short months later, it had traded at $64,000. A lot has changed since then. The first country adopted it. The first banks plan to offer it. Mass adoption begun. What can we expect over the next 12 months? First, I think it's important to realize how scarce it really is when you talk about the adoption that it's likely to happen over the next year. Now, scarcity was programmed by design, and this next year is where people mess up. Institutions are buying your coins, as discussed and proven. And so in the next year, and these are his predictions, we go from 1 to 3 countries adopting it. I don't know if that's true. That'd be cool. I would love that. I am pro Bitcoin. I point out its technological shortcomings in this and that because I'm just an intellectually honest individual, but I hold it. I'm long Bitcoin. But yeah, 3 countries adopting it, that's bold. I would love to see it. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not going to make that prediction, but if he's right, kudos to him then. He says, Twitter doesn't just integrate it, but puts it on their balance sheet. Multiple ETF approvals that allow all companies access to Bitcoin. Let me pause there. SEC has to approve that, and I think they're going to at some point in time. I don't rule it out, but there's an extra question mark that I didn't have just because I see how much Gary Gensler's attacking crypto. Before that, I was just assuming it was going to happen, and it very well may still. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just a little extra concerned because of Gare Bear. That's all I'm saying. And he says, 10 publicly traded companies add it. Adoption next year greater than this year. It's happening. And then he goes on to talk about technical analysis. And he cites different levels. I don't want to read that whole tweet, but he goes on to state ultimately that $37,000, it could briefly trade as low as that level, but it's unlikely to stay there for long, and we may not even see that. Then he says, and this is the exciting part, check this out. He notes, we can see bids have been stacked on exchanges at those levels. So he's talking about particularly attractive levels with higher lows and higher highs. And so he's saying that's where we can see bids have been stacked on exchanges at those levels. That's where people want to buy with the intent to fill. But the sheer size of them is something I've never seen before across most exchanges. The bottom is closer than you think, and the top is likely a number you can't comprehend at this time. And then he notes we can expect multiple ETF approvals again. So so right here we're talking about an actual metric that you can track on cryptocurrency exchanges. So yes, lots of bids here being placed at specific key levels, but the sheer quantity of such bids that are waiting to be filled is something that he's saying he's just never seen before. And so it just goes back to this concept of I fully anticipate that this rally, when it really hits, we're talking about the final leg up, because we are towards the tail end of this bull cycle, I believe. This is where we're talking about the truly face-melting action. That's going to put little gross puddles of melted faces all over the pavement. You're going to be walking around just trying to grocery shop, and then you're going to have to be with your little shopping cart swerving through all these little melted face puddles. It's going to be freaking gross. I can't wait for it. It's going to be totally disgusting. But that's what we've got to look forward to here. And this, like, if you look at that, if you look at on-chain metrics of Bitcoin, how about just comparing what's happening now to the past? All indications are the best is yet to come. And I feel bad for the people that are just so afraid right now that they're just going to miss out. They're panic selling. And if that's what they want to do, then go ahead and do it. I'd never tell anyone to not sell. If you want to sell, go ahead and get out. If you want to buy, go ahead and get in. Just do whatever you want. I'm just sharing my personal, unprofessional opinion on this. But all I can say is this. I could not feel more confident about all this. I'm not saying 100%, but pretty damn close to that. Pretty damn close. It's for me, it's more simple than that. It's just look at how the humans are behaving. They're behaving the same. This time is not different. There's just more of them. And that's going to bid the price up even higher. This has been my plan all along here. It's so exciting to be in this right now. So that's why I keep hoping, like, whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. I'm not telling you what to do, buy or sell or hold. But my gosh, I'm hopeful that you're not one of the fearful people. I'm hoping that you're one of the people like me that's just excited about the future and where we are right now. The fact that a bunch of people that are just your stereotypical retail speculators are fearful does nothing to make me feel fearful. The fact that the price for these cryptos went down, which made them feel that doesn't make me feel that. It just doesn't make logical sense, because I logically understand that this is just how illogical and irrational people behave. So why would I be like that? Of course not. I'll go ahead and wrap up here, though. Let me know what you think below. Tell me, please, how you're feeling. It can't be just me that's in party mode about this stuff. I am excited about this every single day. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.